what a performance for the New York Knicks as they go into Chicago and beat the Chicago Bulls 128 to 120. I'm Anthony. I'm here with Chris. Chris, what a freaking game. What a nail biter there at the end. I mean,
Yes, sir. It was heck of a game. Had me at the edge of my seat, man. What can I say? Knicks pulled through, though.
yeah, we pulled through the possession there at the in the end of the fourth quarter. The Julius Randle holding the ball there for 15 seconds was a bad
Yeah,
shot, but in overtime, the New York Knicks decided we have Jalen Brunson on the team. Let's give this guy the ball. Let's run the offense to Jalen Brunson, and it worked out, Chris.
yeah. I was raging with that Julius last possession. It's just screamed old Knicks, and I'm pretty sure Rick Brunson was on the bench going, "Why'd you bring my son here?"
Why'd you be my son here? He's clutch. Let him
And
let him
he
show you the
showed that
clutch.
clutch gene. He showed that clutch gene. He put Caruso on his ass.
He did for sure. And look, it was nail biting time there at the end, but in the fourth quarter, Quentin Grimes clutch three in the fourth quarter, and in overtime, Quentin Grimes another clutch three. After Julius Randle isolation kicked it out to Quentin Grimes, hit the front of the rim there, Chris, in the fourth quarter. It felt like it hit the front of the rim, and it felt like it was up in the air for like a good 5 minutes. And
Oh
then
man, time
once that
stopped.
joint went in, everyone was like, "Whoo, let's go!"
I almost fell out of my seat.
Yeah, man. It started with Julius Randle had 15 first quarter points. We can go through the game. Julius Randle had 15 first quarter points, and he was pretty much another 30-point performance from Julius Randle. He was pretty much dominant all game. The Bulls had no answer for him there. They put Alex Caruso there at the end guarding Julius Randle, and there was a lot of isolation there in the third quarter from the Knicks in regards to Julius Randle. Wanted to see them get away from that. They kind of got away from their flowing offense, and once they got back to the offensive flow, Chris, the ball started to move. Everyone started to hit shots, and that is New York Knicks basketball right there.
Yes, and you said it perfectly with the isolation. It's not something we want to do all the time, and it just stops the flow of the offense. It just makes it way too predictable. And I'm happy in overtime they snapped out of it, realized, hey, we got Julius Randle, we got Jalen Brunson, we got a squad that can hit some shots. Let's just put more pressure on the Bulls.
Yeah, and the Bulls there, Zach. Look, this game was poorly refed all game. I mean, the referees were. It seemed like they were on the Chicago side, but Knicks pulled through. Knicks came through. This is now 5 wins in a row for the New York Knicks. They're rolling. They're top 6 team in the Eastern Conference after a turmoil start to the season. It's 5 wins in a row, Chris. I mean, you got to get excited. This team is playing well. Everyone's playing well. Julius Randle is playing out of his mind. Jalen Brunson is literally playing on one leg. I mean, he came into tonight questionable, and he dropped a 30-piece. I mean, RJ
Yeah,
Barrett too. I mean, RJ Barrett fouled out in the fourth quarter, but RJ Barrett is also playing at an all-star level. I mean, this team is really fun to watch.
yeah. I mean, shout out to the whole Knicks squad because this was it was a tough win, but yeah, I mean, I agree about the refs. It was just bad.
Yeah.
It just seemed whenever the Knicks were gaining momentum, whenever they were, you know, extending the lead a bit, the refs would just tack on some foul, ticky tacky foul here and there, like the most
Refs
frustrating
have
thing.
money on tonight's game. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Got our first comment here. Joe Curry, great game. Refs need to be held accountable for blown calls. Great game by Randall. Brunson hurt. Grimes taking off as well. IQ and Mitchell did his thing. Emmanuel quickly with his defense. Mitchell Robinson with his offensive rebounding. There was some timely offensive rebounds there in the fourth quarter and especially overtime. And Mitchell
Yes.
Robinson continues his dominance on the offensive boards. He's a really important piece for this New York Knicks team. And shout out to Mitch, man.
Yeah, shout out to Mitch. He had a big key defensive stop too late in this game too.
Yeah.
was completely just dominated that one possession. All through and through, it was just all around a good game for the Knicks in general.
Domination. Tyler in the chat, Jalen Brunson is a bad man.
Yes,
Knicks
he is.
finally decided to let Jalen Brunson cook there in the overtime. Like you said, Chris, Julius didn't have it. Julius seemed like he got tired legs there in the overtime, and the Knicks were like, "Look, we have an all-star point guard. It's time for him to cook," and he damn sure cooked the Bulls into a victory. Clutch shot after clutch shot there in overtime. I mean, Jalen Brunson. What can you say about Jalen Brunson, Chris? I mean, what a performance tonight.
Yeah, I mean, nobody, this guy, the way he went out of the last game, nobody really thought he was going to actually play this game, and here he is dropping 30 on the Bulls, basically on one leg, like you said. This dude is amazing. He should have been a Knick sooner. We should have drafted him.
Hey, he was drafted in the second round. I mean, we got him now, so that's all that matters. But yeah. You have Brunson balling out. You have Barrett balling out. Mitchell Robinson, clutch offensive rebounding. You have Grimes contributing with his clutch threes at the end there. I mean, when Grimes hit that three, Chris, we were watching it together, and I was just like out of my chair. I was like, oh my God. Like, as soon as this game went into overtime, I honestly thought we were going to lose this game. I was like, oh, one of those games.
Same. I mean, the way it ended in to go into overtime with that Randall ISO where he just killed the clock down to 5 seconds and then just faded. It's just not. I mean, I know that's a shot Julius hits when he's hot, but by that point in time, he was gassed. He had to be, and yeah, I had my doubts too, especially with the way the refs were officiating the game. It just screamed, Bulls are gonna win it by 2 or 3 minutes.
It did.
But pulled through, and that's the most important thing. And I wanted this win badly.
I did too, man. 5 wins in a row, like I've said. I'm watching a highlight of Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson there at the end pretty much took Alex Caruso's ankles. I mean, embarrassed him. I mean, straight up embarrassed him. Hit a clutch 3, put the Knicks up 9. That was all she wrote. I mean, what a performance from Jalen Brunson. I mean, this team is clicking on all levels. Defensively, not so much tonight. And it started in the second quarter when the bench unit came in, Deuce was hitting. He had back-to-back threes in that second quarter. IQ was playing well defensively. At some point tonight, we got to talk about Isaiah Hardenstein being a turnstile on defense. He continues to not play well on the defensive end, but the Knicks continue to run him out there instead of Sims. I mean, Sims did play tonight, but I want to see Sims just get those minutes from iHeart. You have who else played well tonight? Well, we mentioned Mitch, Grimes, IQ, Deuce. Yeah, they're just going with that short man rotation, Chris, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he found the right mix, at least for now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting when Obi comes back. I mean, who loses minutes?
He's gonna take Sims or iHeart, probably
I don't
iHeart.
know. It's Tibbs though. He might just be like, hey, I saved my job with this rotation.
I know, right? As soon as the Knicks, yeah, but I don't want to talk about that. I mean,
positivity. That's the Pandora's box.
Positivity tonight. Joshua in the chat. Shooters bounce for Grimes. Shooters bounce for sure for Quentin Grimes with the pretty Allen Houston stroke. Prettiest shot in the NBA. I've been saying it all season. 5 in a row for the squad. Where are we in the East, Chris? Where are we in the Eastern Conference?
What are we, 6?
Are we? No. Atlanta lost. Yeah, we are 6.
Hey.
The Knicks are 6th, all alone at 6th place in the Eastern Conference at 15-13 on the season. They've won 5 in a row. That's the most games. That's the longest winning streak so far in the well, you got the Magic winning 4 in a row. So, yeah, but 5 in a row for the squad, top 6 in the East. things are looking positive, Chris, and it starts with the 9-man rotation. It starts with the defensive end. And tonight, the New York Knicks were playing with tremendous intensity. You could tell in that fourth quarter, they wanted to win this game.
Yes.
They did not want to lose this game. And it showed up in the stats, Chris. I mean,
Yeah, I mean they shot 52.9% from 3-point, which is amazing for the Knicks, and
that's
80% from
crazy.
the free throw line. I mean, they hit the shots they needed to hit, and they did it in overtime without RJ Barrett, who was having a good game as well. So great win altogether for the Knicks.
Great win altogether. We can go through the stats. Yeah, Knicks had 50. They out rebounded the Chicago Bulls by 20 rebounds, and most of that had to do with Mitchell Robinson. Knicks had 56 rebounds tonight compared to Chicago's 36, 25 assists, 7 steals, 5 blocks, 15 turnovers. A lot of turnovers tonight. But the New York Knicks, like you said, they shot 52% from 3. That's amazing. I mean,
That's huge.
that's huge. I mean, you had Randall hitting his threes, Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Deuce, IQ hit a nice 3 in the corner there, still shooting well from the free throw line. Second chance points, Knicks with 20. Most of that had to do with Mitchell Robinson grabbing those offensive rebounds. And look, you can point at Julius Randle playing well, but as a team, as a whole, the New York Knicks are clicking on all cylinders right now. And it starts down low with Mitch. Then it goes from Randall playing at an all-star level. Barrett starting to get his shot back, Chris. Barrett's starting to look real good, RJ Barrett.
Yeah, he's a slow starter, and this is another, I guess, more proof of that. He's just, for some reason, he just doesn't start well, but he's definitely heating up now. I think Mitch should get a lot of the credit as well. We were terrible as far as rebounding went initially, and I don't know what happened recently, but he's just a demon on the boards. You just can't stop Mitch down there, on the offensive boards as well. And Julius, what can we say? Outside of being, kicked out of the previous game, he would have had, how many games with 30 points now?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
He's been playing well offensively, and I'll take that. It is what it is on the defensive end, but if he's scoring like this, I'll live with it.
I'll live with it too, like you said. And I mean, if he didn't get kicked out of the last game, he had 27 points when he got kicked out. In the, what was it, Chris? The third quarter, Julius Randle got kicked out.
Yep.
He would have had, I believe, 4 straight games of 30-plus points, Julius Randle. The way he's playing right now is unbelievable. And look, you can harp on the isolation. To me, that was a bad coaching play. I mean, you shouldn't hold the ball there at the end for 15 seconds. It was just a terrible. The play was an isolation for Julius Randle. It was just a terrible drawn-up play. But
yeah, I agree.
Randall's playing at all-star level, and it's time we start respecting him for it. We were up and down, hot and cold with Julius Randle all season. But, Chris, I mean, if this is the version of Julius we're going to get, sign me the hell up. I mean, I'm sure sign you the hell up too, right? I mean, it's amazing, man.
Somebody who's scoring the way he's scoring, yeah, you need it. And it makes it, it can make the game so much easier for the rest of the players when, they have to pay so much attention to a red hot Julius Randle. And it looked like that was pretty much what Tibbs was trying to do late in the game by giving Julius the ball so much. But at the same time, I think that's where Julius can get in trouble a bit, holding the ball way too much. But yeah. Julius scoring 30 points a game, sign me up any day. I'll take it.
Sign me up as well. Once again, if you're new here, I'm Anthony. That is Chris. If you're new to the YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button. Like this video. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. I mean, it's an exciting time for us Knicks fans, man. 5 in a row, 5 victories in a row. And Julius Randle has been playing out of his mind. And it started with the Cleveland game. Randle only 18 points in that Cleveland game. But then the Hawks game, 34 points and 17 rebounds. Next game after that, the Hornets, 33 points and 7 rebounds for Julius Randle. Then the game where he got ejected in the third quarter, he had 27 points through 3 quarters, 8 rebounds in that game. W. Tonight, 31 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists for Julius Randle. W. So all of these games are this stretch here from Julius Randle is amazing. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, he's just on another level right now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the Randall. This is the Randall we want.
Yeah, this is the Randle we want. There we go.
And he's showing some effort on the defensive end as well. So I'll give him that too. It just looks like when he's in this groove and he's scoring the way he is, his game overall just is better. So shout out to Julius Randle. Keep it up, please.
Keep it up. That's for sure. Joe Curry in the chat. RJ has to step up now. He needs better splits in his percentages and not foul out like tonight. Play better D. Barrett, I want you to be an all-star as well. Some of the foul calls on RJ Barrett were ticky-tack foul calls. I didn't agree with them, especially the last call where he got fouled out. It seemed like ticky-tack fouls. But, yeah, I mean, RJ Barrett has been playing well in this stretch as well. I mean, his percentages, I think over the last 10 games, he's shooting in the 30s from 3, which is better than his 20% average on the season. And he's making better decisions in the paint, and he's getting his teammates involved. He's actually finishing better around the rim. It seems like the Knicks have figured out this spacing issue with Randle and Barrett. It seems like there's a lot of different play actions that I see them running out there. So, look, still a young season. They're working on some things in practice, and it's showing up in the winning column. That's for sure. But
yeah, definitely with RJ, I think he's definitely finishing a lot better, and a lot, especially late in this game, I saw him going, basically toe to toe with DeRozan. So it was like RJ would finish at the rim, DeRozan would finish at the rim. I mean, I think RJ, he's definitely improving. He could be on his way to being an all-star if he just continues on this path, but who knows what'll happen with RJ. I don't want to say too much and jinx the dude.
New York Knicks just tweeted a photo of Brunson and Brunson with Caruso
on my
the
wallpaper
floor. Yeah, I got it for you right.
I need
right
wallpaper.
Here.
I need that.
I'm gonna put it in the YouTube video so you guys can see. This is, yeah, man. This is my new wallpaper right here. Let me just lower this image. It's too big. There we go. I'm going to keep that. I'll probably keep that between us. Here we go. Sorry for the delay. Yeah. There it is right there. Brunson crossed over Caruso. Caruso's an amazing defender, but just slipped there at the end. Caught him. Caught a body. So, Jalen Brunson, bad boy.
He took a piece of his soul there. You can see it in Caruso's face.
Joshua in the chat, where can I get that hat, Anthony? I can probably wear their merch now. I got the hat on Joshua. I'll message you. Just remind me so I can shoot you a link about it. But yeah, 5 in a row for the Knicks. Feeling good. Feeling amazing as a Knicks fan. Look, this season, Chris, has been a bumpy ride. Ups, downs. Thibodeau, fire Thibs, trade this person. Rumors are swirling now. Trading deadline is coming up in 2 months. And despite all of that, the Knicks are winning games. And they made changes, and you just have to give them their props. I mean, they've played Deuce. They've benched Rose. They've benched Cam, which wasn't a popular decision, right, throughout the fan base. And they just keep on winning these games. So, I mean, what can you say at this point?
You can't say anything. I mean, I think that's what a lot of fans, had against Tibbs and the front office was like, play these younger guys, when you're running out of Fournier earlier on in the season, or even Rose for that matter, who wasn't effective. It's like, why not play a Deuce McBride? Why not play, Cam at the time who wasn't playing? And credit to Tibbs and credit, I'm sure the front office had some say in it too, but they shook things up, 9-man rotation, Grimes, Sims playing, and McBride, and they just took off from there. So me personally, I can't complain. I wanted some change. Did I want Tibbs fired? Yeah, sure, but I'll take this too.
I will take it as short as I mean, Tom Thibodeau, I think, has bought himself some time here,
Yeah.
especially if the Knicks keep winning and they're making adjustments. That's the main thing we wanted Thibs to do: make
Yes.
adjustments, right, Chris?
Yeah.
Adjustments off the bench, get younger, play Deuce. Rose wasn't playing well. They just kept throwing Rose out there. Although I think Rose still he's saying all the positive things on the bench, so I think Rose still has an opportunity to play. But as of right now, you look. They made some tough decisions. They benched Fournier. They benched Rose. They basically took them out of the rotation and said, "Hey, we failed with signing these guys. Let's try something new." And now the Knicks, they shortened the rotation and they're benefiting from it. And that's the beauty of making changes, and what we've wanted to see has finally come to fruition. And the New York Knicks are number 6 in the East now, 15-13. Another game versus Chicago Bulls. I'm sure the Chicago Bulls are gonna want revenge here. So
Yeah. It's
yeah,
gonna be a fun game to watch coming up. That's for sure.
it is. It's gonna be a really fun game. And look, we can, if you're just joining us, we can kind of reverse track a little bit. It started with Julius Randle playing his ass off. Julius Randle tonight with 31 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists, playing like an absolute superstar. To go along with that, you had Jalen Brunson absolutely take over the game in overtime. 30 points for Jalen Brunson, crossed Caruso up there at the end, and Jalen Brunson took over the game in overtime. And when you have that duo working, Chris, at an all-star level, there's no stopping them,
Yeah.
and you're
No,
not
I
going to
mean,
lose too many games.
you're not gonna lose many games at all. I mean, Randall 30, Brunson 30, Barrett 22. Could have had more if he didn't foul out. Yeah, you're not losing many games against. I think this is the version of the Knicks that no team wants to play right now. Um, it reminds me of the All Star Julius year. I mean, no team really wanted to see us when we got into the playoffs. And I think right now the Knicks are looking a lot like that. Even scarier if you realize you got Jalen Brunson on this team now.
Yep, scary hours. And like I said, when we first started the game, Jalen Brunson came into this game questionable and still managed to drop 30 points and 7 assists. Absolutely dominant. 11 to 21 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3. Jalen Brunson is shooting really well from 3 lately. His last 10 games, he's shooting at a high percentage. He's getting a shot back. All these guys are starting to shoot really well. And Quentin Grimes, I mean, he was in foul trouble and still finished the game with 37 minutes, 4-7 from 3, 2 clutch threes, plus 14. I mean, Chris, I'm starting to get giddy over here. I'm starting to get antsy, but maybe you gotta calm me down. I mean, this Knicks
Nah,
team
not
right
at
now.
all. Not at all, man. Grimes is gonna be something, man. I mean, he was guarding DeRozan, and with the officiating, I'm surprised he didn't foul out. But Grimes is definitely we found something there. That's for sure.
Yeah, we did. You could tell why the New York Knicks did not want to give up on Quentin Grimes. Summer League Grimes has arrived and has been arrived for the last few games. Grimes has been amazing, along with Deuce off the bench. IQ's defense has been underrated. Um, yeah, somebody tweeted Knicks win again. They're pulling me back in. They're pulling us back in, Chris.
Yep.
After
It's
a
all
slow start there, the Knicks keep throwing the fishing line in the water, reeling us back in like we're little worms on a fishing line, and we fall for it every time.
yeah, especially now with the trade deadline coming up. Who knows what moves they're gonna make.
Who do you want them to trade, and who do you want them to acquire? There's rumors about Fournier, Reddish to the Lakers, possibly Pat Bev, who's awful, but you would have to, I don't know. Yeah, so
Yeah, I don't know about Pat Bev, but I did read an article that talked about how the Knicks are not necessarily trying to get rid of salary per se, um, or attaching picks to anybody to just get rid of them. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I think that was a report by Windhorse,
yeah,
and I think it was mostly around Fournier and the Knicks adding a pick. He said that's false. He has no he gets no indication from the front office that that's going to be a thing they do, which I think it's nice. I mean, there's teams that are going to need shooters, and Fournier is still a good shooter, even though he wasn't for us. So it's going to be interesting. I really don't know who we could get out there for a Rose, Fournier, or Reddish, but it'll be interesting to say the least. I'll
yeah,
just say don't trade quickly.
yeah. It would be interesting, but right now, look, Leon Rose and the front office have a tall task ahead of them. They gotta trade some of the guys on the bench. Obviously, you have the guys on the bench are not sulking either. They're not going to the media and complaining about them not playing. They're being supportive. So that's the big thing. That just shows you that the culture there in the locker room is pretty good. Everyone's seems like they're in good spirits. But the Knicks are back.
Winning heals all.
Like Amari Stoudemire said when he signed that big contract, the Knicks are back. The Knicks
Yep.
are back.
Love it. Love it. Hopefully, we can add another win next game against the Bulls. It's going to be another crazy game, but I think we got it.
I think so too. Joe Curry in the chat. I will also trade Hardenstein and Rose to a contender for some expiring and a pick. Yeah, Hardenstein has been rumored to be in trade rumors, so we shall see with the emergence of Jericho Sims. We don't know what the future holds for Hardenstein. Knicks signed him to a 2-year, $18 or $16 million deal. So Ihart on the defensive end has been an absolute disaster. When he comes in the game, players go right by him. But he did hit a three tonight, Chris, in the
Yeah,
corner.
he did. It's kind of weird with iHeart. I mean, he didn't have that reputation
Yeah,
of being a turnstile, so
yeah, he didn't.
he has to be. I mean, I know they mentioned his Achilles was hurt basically since the start of the season. And he's been playing through it. I mean, I'm at this point, you've got to say it's affecting his mobility, and he's just not able to get to his spots.
Yeah, you could say that. His Achilles is obviously sore and hurting him, but Ihart was an elite defender last season around the rim, and it's just
Yeah,
we're just not seeing it. He was one of the top defenders around the rim last season, and that's mainly why the New York Knicks signed him. And we just haven't seen it this year. Is he healthy? New system, traveling from west to east. I don't know. I don't want to come up here and make up excuses for Ihart, but I think what the fans are saying is, look, you have Jericho Sims. I remember that stretch down in Utah, Denver. Jericho Sims was playing out of his mind. He was playing really well, and then all of a sudden, you benched him. He didn't play. He had a DNP, and I think fans just want to see Jericho Sims play more and more, and I think that's the main issue when it comes to Ihart.
yeah. I mean, again, it goes back to Tibbs earlier in the season saying, "Oh, everything is merit based. If you play well, you'll play." And then you have iHeart struggling and Sims showing out, and like you said, Sims gets benched, and it sucks. As fans, you want to see a young player, who produces for you, comes off the bench and just produces for you out of nowhere. Give him some more burn, let
Yeah.
him play somewhere. He earned it. And you bench him, it's gonna rub everybody the wrong way. But definitely another dilemma for the Knicks. What do they do? Do they trade Hardenstein?
I don't know. I really don't. Joe Curry in the chat, don't trade IQ or anyone else in the rotation unless it's for Shy, Gilgis Alexander. That's who I would trade picks and anyone they want. Yeah, I don't think the OKC is just gonna give up Shy. It makes no sense. But yeah, if it's for Shy, I mean, Take anyone, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those. If you had a chance to get a player of that caliber, you just do it.
Yeah,
You just do
you.
it and figure it out after that.
Everyone's on the table. Everyone should be involved in that deal.
Yeah,
But yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen. Appreciate the comments though tonight, Joe. Really do. Um, yeah. What is the Twitterverse saying? Timeline is live. Obviously, Knicks have won 5 in a row. Definitely take that. I think believe it's the first time in 2 years the Knicks have won 5 straight games. Obviously, last year didn't go too well, but 5 in a row, man. I mean, enjoy it. Enjoy it while it's here, because we know this season has been up and down, hot and cold. I mean, 5 wins in a row. It's great. Great news in New York City. The city is popping.
enjoy it. Enjoy it, Knicks fans.
Enjoy it indeed. Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about the end of the fourth quarter there, the few plays, and then maybe wrap it up. So yeah. In terms of Julius Randle, I think he was tired there in the fourth quarter, Chris. He got
Yeah,
tired. He forced it a lot. Knicks ran the offense through him in the fourth, and it just didn't look like he made some passes, but he was that last shot he forced it too much, and he didn't get a good look.
yeah. I just overall don't like the ISO Julius, especially when you had so much time. You could have, maybe, send somebody off a screen.
Yeah,
Maybe have Jalen Brunson, play a pick and roll and just read and react type of deal. But having Julius just literally go to one side of the court and just run the clock down as much as he could. I mean, I guess I get it. He was hot, but he was also tired, like you mentioned.
yeah,
And a fader, that's a tough shot to hit. And you know, zero point 0.7 seconds were still left on the clock, and with our luck, I mean, luckily it didn't come into fruition, but the Bulls could have probably won that game. I mean, I think I mentioned to you Derek Fisher once hit a shot with zero point 0.4 seconds left. With our luck, the Bulls would have done that too, but not tonight.
not tonight. And then Jalen Brunson's show took over there in the fourth,
Yes.
overtime, took over, and Bulls had no answer for him, and that's what we wanted. We wanted Brunson to take over. Brunson, the Knicks, he was balling there in the third, and Knicks got away from that. They subbed him out. Knicks got away from going to Brunson, and he's showing you why he's worth every penny of that contract. He's showing you why he's one of the best point guards we've had in New York City in years. Wins like tonight just make you smile from ear to ear, and we're just happy that Jalen Brunson is a New York Knick, and everything is playing. Everything is going well right now. Barrett's playing really well. Brunson's playing really well. Julius Randle's playing at an all-star level. Second team all-star is what he got 2 years ago, and he's playing like a first team all-star during this last stretch. Dibbs is making the right adjustments, rotations. So much positivity in Knicks land, Chris. It feels weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't bash them. You just can't. Five
No.
games in a row. Like you said, Tibbs making adjustments. We thought we'd never see it. um, Everybody playing, basically out of their minds. It's awesome. The defense is back. Maybe
Yeah,
not so
I
much
didn't even
this game.
mention that. Defense is back.
Yeah, I mean, this the 3-point shooting is coming back. I mean, it's. I can go on and on and on. I mean, I can't remember the last time I was so positive on the Knicks.
Defense is back. I believe the Knicks jumped from the 20s to the defensive rating to I believe they're actually a top 10 defense in the NBA, which is crazy. I have to look up the website that I searched for that information. But yeah, defense is back. Knicks are shooting the ball well, and they're playing as a team. And we didn't see that earlier to start the season. Maybe it's because of new faces, new system, new team, but we just have to enjoy it, enjoy the ride, and hopefully we can win against the Chicago Bulls again. We have a back-to-back in Chicago, which is strange, but we can do it. I mean, the Knicks are now 8-6 away from the Garden. They're 15-13 overall, sixth best record in the Eastern Conference. They're playing really well. Yeah, man. Shout out to New York Knicks. They're really balling out. And we have another game on Friday against the Chicago Bulls. I think that's pretty much it, right, Chris? I mean, anything else you wanted to touch on?
Knicks win.
Knicks win. Go New York. Go New York. Go. If you're new here, I am Anthony. That is Chris. Appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Like the video. Really appreciate it. If you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, appreciate you guys as well. Yeah, man. Knicks are rolling. Knicks are back. We love it. Randall, Barrett, Brunson, everyone's playing well. Dibs is smiling. Dibs is laughing. Things are looking well in the city. But we'll be back on Friday. Appreciate you guys joining. So have a good night, guys. Peace.
Peace.